the first 10 gold medal books, plus a couple of others. Hi, I'm Gary Levisi, and we're going to take a look at the earliest gold medal books. Fawcett Publications was a company that in the 20s, 30s, 40s published a lot of magazines. They published comic books. In fact, one of our friends, Richard Lieberson's father, worked, Will Lieberson, worked for Fawcett Comic Books. But they were very strong in the comic book field and in the magazine field. In 1949, they decided, you know what, they wanted to get into the paperback field because that was a big area that was looked to be an area of growth for publishing. And they did a couple of things. They started out gold medal books. And the thing is with gold medal books, they did something that a lot of other publishers paperback publishers hadn't done at that time. They were publishing paperback originals. And they also paid on publication to the authors for I think it's about 100,000 print run. So they printed the books up and they paid the authors when the books were published, which was kind of unheard of. It was really like a boon for the authors. It's really a good thing. And the authors flocked to gold medal. Gold medal published probably a couple of thousand, easily 2,000 plus books in the series. We're not going to go through those now. We're just going to go through the first 10, but really like the first 12 because they started off with number 99. And again, this is something I've talked about in other videos, where a publisher, instead of starting off with number 1 and number 10, they start off with, number 99, but number 99 wasn't numbered, and then number 100, but number 100 wasn't numbered. So the first book in the series was number 101. So here's the stack of gold medals. The first 10, or first 12, is the spines. They all had yellow spines. They all had similar designs to them. And we're going to take a look at the first ones now. We're going to go by little. Let me just put my glasses on so I can show you. And it's interesting about the first one here, number 99, which is not numbered, is a smaller, shorter book than the usual ones. So there's no gold medal logo. Just a red spine with print. Doesn't say gold medal books. This is the Best from True, which was a men's magazine, and they took stories. You see it's New York, 1949. And it has different stories in here by different authors. Just going to read a little bit of Paul Gallico, Philip Wiley's in here, Alan Hines, C.S. Forrester. There's actually a story about jazz by Louis Armstrong. And it's first printing May 1949. So that's the first gold medal book. Number 90, no number 99. Second book is no number 100, Sex and Marriage. And just Sex and Marriage.
Just re-explain again why you're saying numbers and there's no number.
Oh, because they had no. These are the numbers, the original numbers. This is Sex and Marriage is from 1949 by the editors of Today's Woman. And what these were basically, and there's different again articles in here from the magazine, and these were the magazines that Fawcett published, and so that's how they started off with gold medal. These two books were basically trial runs, where they took magazines that they published, True and the Woman's Magazine, and they took the articles and stories from those, reprinted them into paperback form, and then they wanted to see how they worked out. and it was a big success. They did very well. So then they started off with actually what is the first gold medal book, and here we start off with number 101, and it's We Are the Public Enemies by Alan Hind. And here you see the first time is the gold medal logo being used, and it says the gold medal book. So this is the first, really the first gold medal book, but these two precursors are actually the first. So you have 99, 100, and 101 it starts. And again with the yellow spine, the numbers on the bottom, and here's a picture of Alan Hind. This is true crime. Gangsters, Dillinger, John Dillinger, Pretty Boy Floyd, the Barrows Brothers, Ma Barker, Bonnie and Clyde. So this is really cool. This is their first book. So this sold. All of these gold medals, when they first came out, sold like hotcakes. And thing is, because they were paperback originals, they'd never been seen before, and they were very exciting books. Number 102, they went back to their roots, Man's Story, which was a magazine, and you have stories by the authors that they published in the magazine. There's the back cover, gold medal logo. The gold medal logo is not on the spine yet, but it is up here. So it came from down here, it's back here. Now this is the format that would be on all the books. And in Man's Story, again, you have the great cover art. This is from True Magazine, the best true stories of the year from True, America's magazine. And in here you have, among others, Alan Hind, Daniel P. Mannix, Philip Wiley, McKinley Cantor, Paul Gallico, and others. This is from March 1950. All of these books I'm going to show you, the first 10 now, are from 1950. So these are the first 4 gold medal books. Number 103 is The Persian Cat by John Flagg. Great good girl art. It's a crime novel. John Flagg is John Giron, who wrote many other books under the John Flagg pseudonym. This is a really sexy good girl art, beautiful cover. Back covers are going to be all the same format, gold medal, and then a little bit of a quote from the story or something about the book. So and the spines are all the same. They have the number at the top now, title, author, and the gold medal at the bottom of the spine. So that design will continue, and with the gold medal logo here with the number, continue throughout the series. The next one is 104, I'll Find You by Richard Kimmel. Another sexy, great cover. And Downs did the cover for this. This is by Downs. Richard Himmel, another really good crime writer. This is one of his first books. All of these are paperback originals, first editions. The next book in the series is 105, is Nude in Mink by Sax Rohmer. These were actually, this was a magazine serial, so this is actually the first book publication of this Sax Rohmer book. Early gold medal did quite a few, the Sumeru and Return of Sumeru by Sax Rohmer. All of those were magazine serials, but well, they're not paperback. Well, these aren't paperback originals. They are first book editions because they collected the serial stories and put them into book form for the first time. Next one, 106, is Stretch Dawson by W.R. Burnett. Another classic Western by a hard-boiled writer. So you can see that these books were really popular. They hit the mark on sexy, noir crime, classic Sax Rohmer, Western, all genres in these 10 books, or actually 12 books that I'm going to show you. The next one, 107, is with Frank Tinsley cover, is The Flying Saucers Are Real. And this was one of the books that sparked the flying saucer craze, again from 1950. All of these are from 1950, except for the first two, which are from 1949. So these are from 1950. This kind of sparked this flying saucer craze that would continue. Frank Tinsley did a stupendous cover. Another really popular author was Wade Miller, number 108, Devil May Care. Very nice cover art. And the interesting thing is that the book was very popular. The fourth printing of it from 1951 had a variant cover, Devil May Care. So there's the first printing from 1950, and then 1951, a year later, they had a new cover on it. But very interestingly enough, when you look at the back cover and they show you Devil May Care, the cover that they're showing you is actually the cover of the first printing. So it's kind of, I think that's kind of interesting. It's a little thumbnail cover, but you can see that it's definitely that first printing cover. And it's pretty cool. There's a lot of little things like that with paperbacks that are interesting. Number 109 by Lillian Coulter. This is one I'm not too don't know too much about. Awakening of Jenny. I assume it's a romance or a noir kind of book. Very sexy, cute cover. Very nice book. And number 110, I'll put it right over here, is again from 1950, $1 Million Murder by Edward Rons. Now, Edward Rons was Edward A. Ahrens. He would become a big paperback writer and crime writer, spy writer years later. But this is his first book for gold medal, paperback original, number 110. And it's a pretty cool book. It's been reprinted a million times, but this is the first edition paperback original. So there you have actually the first 12 gold medal books. You have the two trial editions with no number, and then you have 101 to 110, which were the first books in the series. All paperback originals except for the Sax Romer, which was the first edition. Gold medal published paperback originals and first edition paperbacks. They would take magazine serials or story collections and put them together as first editions. So their books are first editions, and in that market are important books. But the thing is, the gold medal books were really popular. They sold really well. They were reprinted over and over again. They were a great thing for the authors because the authors got paid when they signed the contract, instead of having to wait to hear about royalties or to hear about how many copies were sold. As soon as they sold the book, they got the check. And with other publishers, you had to wait. They'd have to tell you, well, we sold some books, so things were hard today, we couldn't do it, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. Books were returned, blah, blah, blah. They give you a lot of excuses, and you end up not getting any money. But and this was like a killer for authors, because they were, especially in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they were living by the checks that they got from the publishers. So gold medal was really doing a great service for authors, but they were doing a greater service for readers, because they published an incredible amount of really great books. I'm just showing you the first 10 or 12, the first ones. There's 2,000 plus in the series. We could go on forever with them. I collect up to 500, and they're all beautiful books. They all have the same format, the same gold medal logo, and they have the distinctive yellow spines. When you see them on the shelf, they look really terrific. And it's a really great series of books. And probably if you're interested, we can do more on some of the other books in the series, later books or whatever, or key books. You know, there's a lot of key books in the series that are very collectible and some quite pricey. So just with that, I just wanted to show you these first 10 to kind of give you a taste of the early books. I don't think a lot of people have seen all of these, and they probably didn't know about the first two that were now numbered. So it's pretty cool, pretty interesting, I think. And anyway, I really appreciate you looking, and hope you can give me a thumbs up and a like, and I hope you'll subscribe and tell your book collector friends about this, about my YouTube channel. We're going to try and do some cool stuff, different things here and there as we go along, and hope you'll be a part of it. I want to thank you again for looking.